look, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's moving, it's moving. The tree is not gonna move like that. That is an animal.
Did the target move?
It is definitely not hiding behind a tree. It's moving a lot.
Does it look like it's on all fours or standing upright?
It's all vertical, and there's little white dots above this heat signature. And it's moving around everywhere.
That is so strange. There have been reports of people seeing a Bigfoot creature with small orbs flying around its head. Okay, what the
Whoa, shh, what was that? Did you hear that?
I'm hearing the whistling again. That just gave me the chills.
I'm looking for any shape, any animal, eye shine, anything. Nothing. It might be on the other side of that. Ronnie, I just turned my flashlight on to see if I could see what it was, and I don't see it with my flashlight. But this heat signature is so big that it's coming through a huge shrub.
How big does it look?
Is it on? It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller, and the bottom part is looking more and more faint and transparent.
So it's literally changing shape before your eyes.
It's changing shape. It's getting smaller and starting to disappear. Hold on. No. The bottom half is gone, and now it's just a small white circle.
Are you saying that the thing turned into an orb?
I repeat, whatever it was turned into a small white circle. Oh my God. It's gone. I know that this animal was standing behind the bush because when I turned on my flashlight and flashed it across the river, there was nothing there. I still had the heat signature on the thermal, but there was nothing standing there. The fact that something can appear on my screen and then suddenly disappear, or that we see lights that are inexplicable, is really hard for me to consolidate when I'm out here because I am hearing and seeing things that I can't explain.
Hey.
Hey.
It's all strangeness, huh? On that thing?
I'm sort of speechless right now because you did the calls, right? And I started scanning, and all of a sudden I had this heat signature, and then there were these white dots on top of it, and then eventually it just turned into a white circle, and then it disappeared.
Are you saying they were separate white dots, like floating above it or on the heat signature itself?
No, like above it.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta look at that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Holy crap.
Orbs go hand in hand with Bigfoot, and some Native Americans believe that they can actually transform into these orbs and go in between worlds. Whatever Mireya was seeing above this figure, it sounds a lot like orbs, and if it's anything like last year, then we're definitely into some strange territory.
What is that?
This isn't the first time the team has had an experience with strange lights. Last year, they spotted unexplained orbs in a clearing, and just weeks ago in Kentucky, Russell spotted several lights of unknown origin.
Whatever it was behind it. I couldn't see what it was.
This is crazy.
And once we get situated at base camp, we all got to look at that. I think we should call Russ and have him join us and come look at it too.
Since landing in Washington, the team has been making their way to a base camp location Bryce spotted from the air. But it's still several hours away, so the team has decided to spend one more night in this area.
I know that Ronny is super excited by what I described to him, and I'm excited by it too, but I'm troubled by it because I can't explain it.
What does this? What can appear? Show a heat signature invisible to the naked eye, that you couldn't see it once you put a flashlight on it. It appears without making a sound. It has strange lights floating above it. It then turns into a ball of light, and then it disappears.
I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm trying to explain away what would be creating that heat signature. There are big animals in this forest. There are elk, there are bears, it could be a human. But with this one, I'm completely stumped.
There's a heat signature. There should be something there when she puts that flashlight on it. There was nothing there. We're gonna be heading to our base camp. We have an anomaly that was captured on film that we can review tomorrow morning. Once we have access to the cameraman's footage, we can get that dumped onto our laptop so we can review that. So I cannot wait to see this thermal video that Mireya had caught. Until then.
It's one of those things that's gonna keep me up all night thinking about it. What was that? What was that?
It's important to talk to locals around here. It's not only going to save us time, but it's going to be invaluable.
40 miles west near the Pacific coast, Bryce Johnson is heading to the tribal lands of the Makah, a Native American tribe that has occupied this area for thousands of years.
On the Olympic Peninsula, there are several tribes who have never been displaced or left their sacred lands. Part of the oral history is that Bigfoot has always been intertwined with us, humans. I've been granted an incredible opportunity to speak with a Makah tribal member who not only can tell me about the rich oral history of Bigfoot, but this guy also had an encounter himself. Hey, man.
Hi, Bryce.
I just want to say, first off, I appreciate you extending trust, and I'm really excited to speak with you today.
Well, I'm glad to have you down here on Third Beach.
I know your tribe has a deep and rich oral history of Bigfoot. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
I have a story that was told to me by my dad, and it was told to him by his grandfather from his grandfather.
Oh, wow. So we're talking about a couple hundred years ago,
Easily.
passed down.
Well, we have things called a potlatch. It's a ceremonial party, and it's an expression of being prosperous. So, long time ago, our tribe would invite the wild man or Bigfoot down from the hills to participate in these potlatches. It was a great time because we all spoke the same language. So when Sasquatch would come down and come to these ceremonial parties, all the young men and all the warriors would get together with the Sasquatches to wrestle for fun.
Wrestle with these creatures.
So it was a show of strength. It was like wrestling a bear. But this is when it became tragic, when a Sasquatch accidentally killed a man. And that was when Sasquatch realized what murder was. Because animals do not feel that. That's a man concept. It was a very tragic moment, and from that moment on, any potlatch that we invited them to, they would never show up until we couldn't speak the same language anymore.
Really? So even the language stopped at that point?
Yes. Every time we see a Sasquatch, we get to realize how we lost that bond and how important that bond was.
I was kind of blown away at the idea that there was a point in time where we were connected, but once that Bigfoot experienced murder, there was a disconnect and that bond was broken.